This is David Dahm on the tailgate with you one more time. We're going to talk about COVID-19 and the impact on your customers, what farmers are saying about COVID-19. You know, some research was done by Farm Market ID, and what they found were some very interesting aspects that are going to impact you. And in this session of David Dahm and our tailgates, what we're going to invest our time on is that data and then give you some things to think about and actually implement. You're going to make we're not going to forget 2020. I mean, we're going to be talking to our kids, grandkids. This is going to go down in the history books. And so if it's going to go down in the history books, we might as well then have your best year ever in regards to helping and impacting farmers, and you might as well just have a great year. And you might as well just have fun. Because we're going to put the same amount of time in, we might as well impact growers. Wouldn't you agree? Yep, your head's nodding. So let me just give you some of the key, what I call top-line information. And when they were asked, when farmers were asked, what are some things that your agribusiness and your partners can do for you to help you during this time of uncertain times, I'm going to give you some things just that were some of the top things that they said they needed. At the top, nearly 75% of those farmers that were asked said that I need good, open communication. 75% said good and open communication. Nearly 60% said that, some price reductions, and boy, we shouldn't have been surprised by that, should we? I mean, that's very normal, but there's some economic pressures that are going on out there. We'll talk about that. The third thing is that they wanted flexibility on their pickup and deliveries. So nearly 60% said that they want flexibility in pickup, and we're going to talk about that one. Number 4 was flexibility of payment terms, and boy, do you have some opportunity there because of the way your organization is built, their financing and options. There's some really good things there, and we might have to remind customers of what we did in the past and how it's helped them, and maybe some options in the future. And then finally, they wanted flexibility on returns and flexibility of hours. Well over 50% said that as well. So let's just kind of talk about each one, okay? So grab a piece of paper, grab a pencil, whatever you're going to need. Make these yours, but let's talk about good and open communication. What the farmer said is they want more emails, they want more text messages, they want more phone calls. And it's not about bothering them. We're not bothering anybody. What they want to know is when I'm nervous, when you're nervous and you're unsure, we tend to fill in blanks if we don't hear from people. Would you agree? That's exactly right. So I would encourage you to reach out to your customers. Let them know what you're doing. Ask them what they're specifically needing. Give them options. So let's just kind of give you an idea what that might sound like. Jim, I wanted to reach out to you. I've been thinking about you and your family. How are you doing? So your first step is to provide some what I call check-in and some empathy. Check-in and empathy. Second thing I would encourage you to do after that is I wanted to touch base with you, and I wanted to see if there was any specific things that you needed right now, and you can insert any what I call your product lines that you want to put in there right now. Is there anything you're specifically needing? You might even say, based on what's going on right now in regards to COVID-19, a lot of customers have been asking me or thinking about how I can help you in regards to getting things delivered. A lot of farmers and customers are asking me what our approach is going to be in terms of hours. A lot of the customers that I'm working with are really curious in regards to the steps that we can take to help you be more efficient and more effective on your farm. Would you be curious to know what those are? Those are what we call engagement statements. So be ready to go with your engagement statements. Some of your farmers are going to want a detailed plan. Can we go over it one more time? I want to understand what your planting order is going to be. I want to know which fields you're thinking about going first. I want to go through it one more time. Do you have to do that with everybody? No. But those guys that are wanting that, that's what they're wanting. I recorded a podcast the other day, and it talked about is there anything I can do versus here is what I can do for you, and the difference. If you haven't listened to that podcast, go listen to it. But I want to refer to it here. Farmers want you to provide them, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I can do, and list those options down. This is an opportunity to really demonstrate the service, the trust, the recommendations, the ability that you and your team have right now. So communicate with them. Finally, on the communication, you might want to ask them, how often do you want me to communicate with you? How often do you want me to check in with you? I understand that we all have families and we got to take care of them. You may want to visit with your family and ask them, is there certain hours of the night that you want me to be focused on the family, and what hours can I have my phone next to me and I can be texting? And let your customers know when you're going to be available. And if they're not able to in touch with you, how many hours will minimally go by before you get back with them? Okay. Second thing, farmers said, nearly 60% of them said they want flexibility on pickup and not only pickup but delivery. And I want to share something with you. It should really give you some charge right now. How many farmers weeks or months ago, before COVID-19 was here, thought the idea of getting in a pickup truck and driving their trailer somewhere unknown or somewhere I had to drive 100 and some miles, maybe my spouse or one of my employees or family members were going to drive there and pick it up. How great an idea does that sound right now? I mean, it doesn't even, a lot of what these farmers said right now, they're making changes and just going downtown in their local town. So if that's the case, and this data, I have no reason to believe why it wouldn't be true. You have a real opportunity right now to ask, based on what I've got on ordered, how you sitting in terms of this? How you sitting on starter fertilizer? How you sitting on extra seed? How you sitting when it comes to these products? I could load those on and get them delivered to your farm too. You're going to want to get those things scheduled. Farmers are saying they want convenience. Make it convenient for them. You and your team can already begin to palletize things, getting things ready so when the farmer comes in, he doesn't have to stand around. They are saying they don't want to stand around and have coffee. Have it ready to go. This is the time to get that stuff done if you haven't already done so. And again, think about the opportunity where farmers haven't made decisions on some of the products. They're wanting flexibility. They're wanting convenience. You can make all of that happen. Number 3, flexible payment terms. If you had a customer that went with one of your programs earlier and they put a line of credit with you, remind them of how valuable that is right now. So this is a time to reinforce some of the decisions that they already made with you. So we'll go ahead and reinforce past decisions. In the opportunities that you have right now of product that hasn't yet been purchased, many what I would call people that they might find online, they're going to have to pay that cash before they even bring it home, aren't they? Now, if you're local and your organization has that opportunity to provide financing terms and payment terms in those ways, farmers are saying that that's going to become more important to them. Remind them of those options. And you can do that in tomorrow's sales. You know, a lot of guys have been asking me, and the next time we chat, we may want to talk about what other guys or what that might mean to you by utilizing some of our payment terms and financing options. See how we did that? We can also use our 6 steps to kickoff. So a lot of guys have been really that I've been talking to have just expressed a lot of concern in regards to cash flow this year. Can I ask you a couple questions? Yes. Well, lately the 2 questions guys have been asking me is, how do our payment terms here, how do they benefit you regards to having to go to your local bank? And then the second thing they've been asking is is if I ordered my product from you right now, what that would look like in terms of a payment schedule later. All right, so I'm just using just simple examples here. You know what to do. You've got these processes in your mind right now. Use them. Payment terms is important to guys. Now, the last thing that I shared with you that was important in this research that came back from Farm Market ID was that they wanted flexibility returns. And again, think about the advantages you have. Think about the advantages that farmers have by working with you. Now, none of us like returns, but you tell me. Some of these, what I would call the stuff done online, yeah, can you return that? No, you can't. It's a pain in the, you know what, if you can. I got to then take it back on a trailer and send my spouse or one of my employees or family members or myself if I can. I don't want to do that. This is the time to reinforce, folks. This is the time to reinforce why they work with you. This is an opportunity for you to ask for more of their business where you can say, you know, the last time we talked, you were considering blankety blank to go there. Based on COVID-19 right now, are you still feeling the same? You know, I could put a few more of this on the trailer and bring it right out to you if you'd like. If you've got full service applicators, you know, a lot of guys that I've been visiting with right now are looking for, they're just looking for options to get more covered in a shorter amount of time. Could we talk a little bit about what that would look like for your farm? Folks, I can't get into every specific situation. And I know each one of your customers is different. Each one of them is different. But what I want you to remember is that farmers right now are wanting convenience. Second thing they're wanting is they're wanting open communication. The third thing they're wanting is flexible payment terms. And the fourth thing is they're wanting is flexibility in pickup. And they're also wanting flexibility of hours. Now I want you, if you're driving safely, just briefly just look up at that rear view mirror. You see those two eyes staring back at you. And I want you to sit up in your seat no matter where you're at right now. This is a tremendous opportunity to be grateful for your job, to be grateful for your position, to be grateful of every one of your customers, and to help them. The impact that you're going to have on one of your customers right now as a result of them doing business with you is huge. Why? Because of your recommendations, because of your flexibility, because of your communication. You and your team are more important now than possibly you were before this hit. And when this ends, and it will end one day, your customer is going to remember of what you did for them. You can hear it in my voice. And I want you to have that same passion about what you can deliver in regards to farmers' concerns right now. And then own it. No one is asking you to be perfect. But what they are asking is that you be open with them, honest with them, being flexible with them, being there for them. We talk about real life. We talk about real issues in real ways to help you be real successful. And that's what we did again on this tailgate. Go out, provide great service and great communication to your customers. For All Terrain, this has been David Dahm.